So what a start to 2022 with lots of new market inventory and of course deals going into contract also. And we are of course talking about the weekly Brooklyn property market data. So Donald, in the luxury market, it looks like we had a much greater number of new to market listings than we typically do see at this time of year.
Yeah, right out of the box here, inventory, increasing inventory phase of the cycle coming on very quickly here. So we had 26 new to market listings last week versus 11, 6, 15 the previous weeks through the end of last year. So that's a pretty good jump start to the year. Those numbers, 26 is something we've seen kind of in peak fall season, peak spring season. So early October, we saw like 26 per week, and then back in April, May timeframe is when we also see that type of volume of new to market happening.
And so new development condos seem to make up the greatest percentage of these new to market numbers in the luxury market. And are they spread across several buildings or neighborhoods?
Yeah, so downtown Brooklyn seeing a fair amount of activity, as well as Williamsburg, which is condo heavy, as we know. In Williamsburg, 510 Driggs, a building that's fairly new. A lot of deliveries to the market last week, and then the downtown market, 11 Hoyt, had a nice selection of a range of unit types and price points spread quite wide there. Also, a large contributor to the new to market inventory last week. And the
in-contract activity seems to be ticking along at the same sort of pace it was at the end of last year.
Yeah, we had 10 deals going to contract last week, and which is good. Previous weeks, 12, 8, 17. So, nothing too crazy. And again, understandable, we're really by getting back into the groove here. Post-holiday, a little bit of a lag with the Omicron and other things going on of people just getting back up to speed. So, but still a very healthy number.
And let's segue across to the below 2.25 million market. So when did we last see 94 new to market listings coming on in 1 week?
Yeah, that is a big number. Caught me a little bit by surprise, to be honest with you. To jumpstart similar to the luxury side of the market, this is huge, which is great, and it's welcome because certainly inventory is being drawn down on as we ended the year with many more deals going into contract and actually being delivered to the market. So just after Labor Day this year, we had 117 new to market listings, which is expected there. Fall selling season, then we'd have to go back to April, May, similar to the luxury side, where we had the spring transaction where most kind of deals are happening in New York City. Again, late April, May is when we saw those type of numbers. We're just a little bit of averaging over 100 there for five or so weeks.
And are condos dominating these new to market numbers as well?
Yeah, 61 sponsor units and 19 resale units coming online last week for a total of 79. That's big. And then on the in-contract side, 19 sponsor units going into contract and 18 resales going into contract, total of 37.
And the 50 in-contract deals that we saw in the 2.25 million and below market, how does that compare with what we've been seeing lately?
So yeah, so we saw 50 there. It's kind of been the average the last 2 months or so of the year. So again, not peak kind of activity, but very, very respectable for so early in the new year when people are just getting back focused on the real estate needs.
And so our final thought process here is there any indication that list prices are going up as a result of these numbers that we have seen last week?
One indicator here, and it's respectable kind of the pool of data being 94 listings on the new to market side and 50 deals going into contract below the 2.25. Average asking price on new to market was 1.232 versus 1.167 for the average asking price as well. So a little bit of an uptick there and on the sell side, and then median asking price also 1.087 million versus 985,000. Average per square foot is skewed quite higher at 1344 versus 1,140 for resale. So higher expectations there, and because the weighting here is heavy condo sponsor units, it's kind of understandable that both the average gross price, average dollar per square foot are going to be a little bit higher those sellers for sure, maybe even more so than most others, certainly have high expectations and can usually price their assets above comparable properties that have been out in the market for some while and maybe a little bit dated. So that's what's going on there. So we'll see if that continues, and we'll see if inventory or the addition of more inventory models that back at all. But we know demand has been strong through the fall, so we'll see if inventory can keep up.
Correct. We will see. That's it from us. Check back in next week for more insights and interesting weekly data. See you next week, Donald.
Have a good week.